friends, welcome or welcome back. We're doing a monthly reset vlog. It's been a while since I've done a true monthly reset, so not only are we going to do my August bullet journal setup, my battleathon bullet journal setup, we're going to talk about my August TBR, but we're also just going to reset a little bit for the month. We're going to do some cleaning. I have a bunch of errands today that I'm going to do that I'll take you along. We have to run to Target and I do have to get quite a few things. Not all of them are super fun, like eye contact solution and stuff like that, but I figured it would be fun to take you along. To start, we're going to make a coffee. I just got some new coffee syrups in today that I have been very excited to try. I'm still on my finding new coffee recipes journey. So I just got toasted marshmallow syrup, and I did in fact order pumpkin spice syrup because I'm so ready. I'm not gonna lie, for summer to be over. I am incredibly ready for fall and some lower temperatures because I miss going outside and not being boiling hot and super sweaty. Job of the day, pumpkin spice latte in July. We have our Crocs on because I literally can't be bothered, and I'm not reading a book right now. Hee hee. It's crazy what cleaning the trash out of your car will do for your mental state. Time for the most boring, unstimulating Target haul you've ever seen in your whole life. I needed more mouthwash, contact solution like we talked about. I restocked on my vitamins because I have not taken vitamins the last couple months. It actually really was helping me when I was taking them. So I got vitamin D because I have not been leaving the house enough since it's over 100 degrees literally every single day. Then I got more highlighter because highlighter has been my favorite makeup product recently. And then this last one, I was absolutely influenced by Steph Borer. She posted her summer makeup routine recently, and she uses e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter in a really dark color for her bronzer. And I love using e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter when I do use like I don't know if this is technically foundation, but when I do use like a foundation, this is the one that I use because it's very, very light coverage, but it just makes you look glowy. Using this as a bronzer is such a good idea. So I got it because I'm gonna try it. I got a little jar for my brown sugar because I usually use brown sugar in my coffees in the morning, but it's just in this like bag that it came in and it always dries out. So I end up having to break off like a piece of cement, AKA my brown sugar, whenever I have to use it. So I'm hoping that this jar will help keep it a little bit more hydrated. I just showed you guys, we took our disposable camera pictures and like I just got them back today from our friend's wedding. I think an additional project we're going to do this weekend is go to TJ Maxx, get some picture frames. I've been dying to just hang more things up in our apartment. I mean, I think I've done the office pretty well, but every other room, the walls are a little bit bland and I love those pictures so much. So I think we're gonna go and do that. I might just get, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 picture frames and do a little, what do you call it, like a collage wall? Gallery wall. A little bit of a gallery wall somewhere in the main room, I'm thinking. apologies. You would have just seen my to-do list for today. So I wanted to do a quick little update-a-rooney because I am working today. It is Sunday. Lately, I've been using Ross's standing desk for like the first half of my day. So I try to stand for the first 4 hours. I take my break and then I sit for the remainder of my day. Today, probably in the next clip, I'm going to talk about my August TBR. I have, I think, finalized that. I'm leaving myself a lot of wiggle room to just, I don't know if I should go into August having like a long TBR list, because for battleathon, you have to have 5-star predictions, because the higher your star ratings, the more points you get in that readathon. So I don't know if I just comb through and think about like, okay, what books do I really think are gonna be 5 stars, and then just have like a really long list of, I don't even know, like 10 to 15 books to pull from? Or do I go in with a shorter TBR and give myself that wiggle room like I usually do? I feel like my TBR and I have had a love-hate relationship through July, but I don't know if it's because I've been reading romantasy only for so long. So I'm trying to decide, I don't know, what to do and how to approach this August TBR. So it's taken me a little bit more time than usual to figure out what I want to read. The other exciting thing that we get to do today is go to TJ Maxx. I'm gonna get a couple picture frames because we're going to hang those up with those like wedding pictures that I showed you. And I also want to get a new candle, maybe like 1 to 2 new candles, because I have a candle warmer in my office, but the candle that I have under there I've been using for a really long time and it is just like unscented at this point. It's unscented wax because I've used it so many times. So that is the plan for today. Y'all would have seen most of the stuff that I got from TJ Maxx. I was not expecting to get pillows today. However, I love this. I love this so freaking much. I feel like this is the perfect addition to like my little reading nook over here. So I was like, it's a need, not a want at this point. And then the other thing that I got that was not on the list, I saw these like crocheted, and they're also so comfy and soft. I saw these crocheted pillows maybe like 3 months ago, and I saw them and I was like, I don't need them, but I love them, I'm not gonna buy them. They were there today and I was like, I haven't stopped thinking about these pillows since I saw them months ago. I need them at this point. So I got this one. She's gonna go on our new couch. And I got this one. I feel like our living room is very blue and gray, and we have a gray couch. So I wanted some pieces that were more colorful, because I'm trying to experiment a little bit more with color and not be so afraid. And I feel like this area here where I usually film is actually pretty colorful. I'm proud of myself, but I'm trying to bring that color into other rooms in the house. Let's talk about August TBR. Yesterday I sat down with every intention to begin discussing August TBR, and then life started happening and things just went downhill from there. So we're here, it's the next day, and we're gonna talk about my August TBR to close things out for this vlog. I have a big pile of books behind me. Here she is, and these are not all of them. I have a couple arcs that we need to talk about. I have some anticipated releases that are coming out in August that I'm super excited about, so let's get into it. Let's start actually with the anticipated releases. The first one on August 6th that's coming out is called Ami. It's the second book in this series, The Guardians of the Dawn by S.J. Jones. This is a YA Asian mythology inspired series. It's giving Sailor Moon, fighting for the good of basically the world. There's like these evil demons that are coming back to life, that are taking over, that are causing havoc. And each of these books, I think it's plotted for 4 books. Each of the main characters in each of the books has like a different power, and they're all, I think, I would presume, going to join the Guardians of the Dawn, which is this ancient warrior type group that battles for good versus evil. So I'm so excited. Also, these books are freaking gorgeous. The next book for Ami, I'll have popped the cover up somewhere. Freaking beautiful. August 6th. I literally can't wait. The next one on August 13th is Ghostsmith. This is by Nikki Palpretto. It is the second book to Bonesmith, and this is a duology. I actually didn't realize that. I thought it was going to be a longer series. So this is the final book in the series. Bonesmith and Ghostsmith are also a YA fantasy series that has some of the coolest death magic I've ever read about. The world is giving Game of Thrones. Like, think of the cold zombie creatures. That's basically what happens. This society has built this massive wall to keep the roaming dead out, and our main character has this like death power. She's trained as a bonesmith to fight off these dead zombie creatures that are taking over their world. There's a lot of other like family drama that's going into it. It is a very hate to love. It is a slow burn, super slow burn moment. Even though it's YA, the romance was giving. I was hanging off of every single word. It's such a fun series. So that's August 13th. And then the second book coming out on August 13th is Lady Macbeth, and this is by Ava Reid. I'll be so honest, I don't remember the summary for that book, but I love Ava Reid's writing style. So we absolutely will be reading Lady Macbeth. I have very high hopes for all three of those new releases, so I'm really hoping that they're 5 stars. Basically everything on this list is a 5-star prediction, because for Battleathon, which is hosted by Mel from Melanor Reads, we get points based off of our star ratings for the books that we're reading. I am a co-host. I am on Team Thorns. There's still plenty of time to join us if you would like to. I will leave her announcement video in the description box below and some information about Battleathon, but we have a Discord if you want to join Team Thorns. It's going to be literally so fun. We get to battle to become the king's assassins, and there is a like bracket, so it really matters what we're reading and how many points we're getting. The only other one I'll mention, actually, this one, I'm not sure if it's a 5-star prediction, but it is an arc that I have that I need to read before August 7th, sometime in the first week of August. It is called Kiss and Make Love by Luna Day. I read another arc by this author called Three Hearts Hideaway. It was a small town, super spicy contemporary romance. Had so much fun with it. I gave that book 3 stars, I think. This one will be interesting. I don't know if it's necessarily a 5-star prediction, and I also typically don't rate short story collections, but this is a short story collection of all different types of relationships. Some of these stories are really spicy. Some of the stories are just sweet and heartfelt love stories. So we'll see how that one goes. But I do have to read that one in August, and I don't know if it's a 5-star prediction or not, but the cover for it is beautiful. I will have popped up the cover somewhere on screen, and her cover artist is incredible. Okay, the rest of these are for sure 5-star predictions. I have Foundry Side. I haven't meant to save this, but apparently I was saving it for Battleathon because I have very high hopes for this book and for this series. Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is an older trilogy that's been out for quite some time. It is a halfway mix, I've heard, between sci-fi and fantasy, and it has been my goal in 2024 to try to dip my toe a little bit more into the sci-fi genre, and I have spectacularly failed at that. The only book that I've read that's kind of sci-fi leaning was Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I don't know how hard you could argue that it's super duper sci-fi, so this is going to be my next step in that direction. We have a main character. Her name is Sansia. She is a thief main character archetype, which typically really works for me. Unbeknownst to her, she's sent to steal an artifact of unimaginable power, an object that could revolutionize the magical technology known as scriving. If the ruthless merchant houses who control this magic, the art of using coded commands to imbue everyday objects with sentience, can unlock the artifact's secrets. They will rewrite the world itself to suit their aims. So she comes into this artifact of power. She has no idea what type of power this artifact holds, and it sounds like it just lands her in a mess of trouble. So I do also have the second book in the trilogy called Shorefall. These covers, by the way, are so freaking beautiful. Like some of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. They're so like artfully done. So I have the second book. If I love the first one, I will absolutely continue with the series in August. Next up is Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I've been saying I want to read this book for literally so long, and I loved T. Kingfisher's writing in Sword Heart. I've been meaning to continue with her series. Sword Heart takes place in this world, but it follows different characters. So I'm very excited to get back into this world, to be introduced to new characters. In this, we follow Stephen. He is a broken paladin living only for the chance to be useful before he dies. But all that changes when he encounters a fugitive named Grace in an alley, and they witness an assassination attempt gone wrong, and now the pair must navigate a web of treachery beset on all sides by spies and poisoners, while a cryptic killer stalks one step behind. T. Kingfisher writes the most interesting, like, high stakes, but also like not super high stakes, because it's just so silly goofy, and her writing makes me cackle embarrassingly loud to myself. I'm just going to blanket say that a lot of these books are books I've been putting off reading for a very long time, but I do think that they are 5-star predictions. I don't know why I am the way that I am. If I have a book that I think I'm really going to like, I just don't read it. I couldn't tell you why. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin is one of those books. So I bought this special edition paperback at Barnes & Noble. My friend Sarah has been telling me to read this for so long. She's told me that it's so emotional, so heartbreaking. It's about a couple. Well, it's about Sam and Sadie. They end up with I think that they're schoolmates. Sam is in his junior year at Harvard. They end up doing a legendary collaboration that will launch them into stardom for a video game. These friends, intimates since childhood, borrow money, beg favors, and before even graduating college, they have created their first blockbuster, Ichigo. Overnight, the world is theirs, spanning 30 years from Cambridge to Venice Beach. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is a dazzling novel that examines the multifarious nature of identity, disability, failure, and redemptive possibilities in play, and above all, our need to connect, to be loved, and to love. It is a love story, but it's not one you have read before. I've heard that this is kind of heartbreaking, and if a book makes me cry, it's auto 5 stars. Another book I've been putting off, this one unintentionally, it's just that I've been so focused on fantasy romance for the last like 3 months, I wouldn't let myself read this book. I read Flawless by Elsie Silver. I gave that one either 3 or 4 stars. I did like it. I prefer Lila Sage, I think, with my cowboy romances, but everyone and their mother has told me that Heartless is so much better than Flawless. And I haven't given up on Elsie Silver. I mean, Flawless was still so much freaking fun. I need to experience Cade Eaton because everyone is obsessed with him. So I need to figure out what's going on there. So cowboy romance, I feel like I fly through these so freaking fast, which will be amazing for a readathon. And I think it will be a very high star rating. I have When We Lost Our Heads by Heather O'Neill. I actually bought this book in December of last year, and I still haven't gotten to it. So now is the perfect excuse. I love a lit fic, and this is a lit fic about a toxic friendship, and it's very reminiscent of Marie Antoinette, which I'm just so curious about that parallel. So we follow 2 friends. Charismatic Marie Antoine is the daughter of the richest man in 19th century Montreal. She has everything she wants except for a best friend, until clever, scheming Sadie Arnett moves to the neighborhood. Immediately united by their passion and intensity, Marie and Sadie attract and repel each other in ways that thrill them both, but their games soon become tinged with risk and even violence. I mean, that just sounds like tea. So I'm very excited to get to this one. Litfics, I either rate them 5 stars or I don't give them a rating because they just emotionally impact me in the weirdest way that I don't feel I can give them a star rating. So we'll see how that one goes. This is very ambitious of me, but I know that this is going to be a 5 star. I've just been putting it off and putting it off. This is another book that I bought in December of last year, and I just haven't gotten to it yet, mostly because of the size. I know that it's going to be incredible. I read Priory of the Orange Tree last year. It changed my freaking life. Like, I can't describe to you how much Samantha Shannon's writing impacts me, changed my brain chemistry. I'm absolutely obsessed. The best dragon book I've ever read is Priory of the Orange Tree. Fourth Wing Who. A Day of Fallen Night. This is the This is the prequel, but also kind of like standalone to Priory. I don't know what else to say about this besides it's going to be a magical, emotional, devastating, amazing time. And I don't care how long it takes me. If it takes me all month to read it, it's going to be fantastic. If I don't get to this book in July, I'm going to definitely read it in August, and that is City of Mirth and Malice. This is the second book. I forget if this is a duology. I think it is. It's the second book to House of Bane and Blood, which I fell in love with. Like, such a hard 5-star for me in July, and I was kicking myself for not reading that book sooner when everybody and their mother told me I was going to love it. Y'all were absolutely correct in that. So I'm planning on reading the second book. I'm so stressed we landed on such a cliffhanger for that first book. The way I've fallen so hard for steampunk in that time period, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Literally can't wait for it. So that is the TBR. It's quite a hefty TBR. Instead of giving myself room to mood read, I feel like this is a month where I do have to have more of a strategy because we're out here trying to read the most 5 stars I've ever gotten in a month, not only to support my battleathon team, but also to just have the best time in the whole freaking world. So that is the strategy. That is the August TBR. If you've read any of these books, if you've loved any of these books, please let me know in the comments down below. I will catch you in the comments, and I will see you in my next one. Toodles.